What's going on, everybody? David here. Today I should be showing you guys how to flush a CLI 42 cartridge. This is a cartridge that you use for Canon Pixma Pro 100s, and if you want to refill this cartridge, you're going to need to flush it first. So, and for the yellow, you need to flush it. Now, if it's a different color, you don't always have to flush it. If the sponges are still, they're not dried out, and you can tell, like this one, you can. It looks a little dry to me, but if it's dried out, then you definitely have to flush it. If it's not dry, let's say you buy the cartridges, you put them in your printer, they run low, you take it out and you refill it, then you're fine. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you guys what I use. Now, the first thing you want to use to actually flush, and with the yellow cartridges, they all need to be flushed. The CLI 42 yellow cartridge needs to be flushed because it doesn't. The yellow here does not mix with the yellow, like if you're using precision color ink, that yellow doesn't mix. It will actually make it like a jello effect. Okay, so you want to make sure that you completely flush this card out. So what I use is Windex, and just a standard Windex is fine. It has ammonia, and that's what flushes this card, and you'll be able to see right away that it will completely. When I say flush the card, I want this yellow in the sponge to be white. Okay, so you want the sponges to both be white. So sometimes it takes a little bit of work to do it. You might have to do it a couple of times, but if you're lucky, you can do it in just one shot. Now, the first thing you want to do is I want to take this off. So I want to expose the opening down at the bottom of the sponge here. And the reason that you want to do that is because you want the Windex to flow all the way through, and the only way that you can do that is by opening that up. So now we have openings. We have an opening down low here, and if you look really closely here, you can see that sponge is really dry. So you have an opening here, you have an opening at the top here, and then you have the opening that you made here. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I use this opening here, and I'll put the Windex in. As soon as the Windex goes in, you'll see that it will start going. It'll come down here and it'll go through, and you'll see it really open up the yellow. You'll see the yellow really go away there. So if you look closely here, and just add a little bit of time, you see that. You see how that yellow just pretty much completely goes away there. So I'll do this until there is no more yellow. And all I'm using, this is just a little sauce bottle. You put ketchup in and stuff like that, and nothing special there. The reason that I use this, you can use a syringe as well. Syringe will probably work a little better, but this is what I found in the store, so I just went ahead and used it. I mean, it works just the same. So now I'm just letting, you can see there's still Windex in here. I'm just letting it kind of make its way down here so it'll come through. So we're going to open up. This looks good here. We're still working on this area here, and there is an opening here. So what I'll do is I'll start closing off the openings. And when you close off the openings, it really forces that Windex through. So I'll do that on the next go around. But you just see, and I just kind of give it a little bit of time to kind of work its way through. And then we'll go ahead and put some more. Now on this one, let's hold it sideways here. I'll hold the bottom here. And then if I hold the bottom, I'm trying to get this so you guys can see it, but if I hold the bottom, then you guys will be able to see it go through the top. Let me do it this way. There you go. That's perfect. Whoop, squirting all over the place. Now, ideally you want to do this over a sink. I have all my camera equipment set up in here, so that's why I'm doing it here. But you can see it kind of pushing through there. You look closely. Keep working that. You just have to work it around, and you'll get it to the point where it's getting rid of everything. You might have to do it more than once, and generally I will do it 2 times, and then on the second go around, actually I have 2 schools of thought. The first one is to do it once and then just set it and leave it there and let the Windex go through and work. I've found success doing it that way, but I've also found success in just doing it twice. And when I say doing it twice, I mean I pretty much use this whole sauce thing. I don't use it twice, but I'll use all this Windex here just for this one. So it takes you a little bit of time. You just need to be patient, and generally you'll be able to get all of this yellow out. And like I said, it's very important. It's not going to work if you don't get all the yellow out. And just force it through. Now with a syringe, if you're using a syringe, you have a little bit more pressure that you can put through there. The pressure with what I'm using here is a little less, only because it's not airtight. Okay, so from this point, what I'm going to do is it's looking pretty good. So I'm just going to set this down and then come back, and I'll come back to it, and when I come back to it, hopefully it will look a little bit better and it'll be hopefully pristine white. So we'll see. So let's set this. I usually set it for about an hour, and then I'll come back in an hour's time, and then we'll see what it looks like. All right. Okay, so it's the next day. I said I was going to let it sit for an hour, but I really just let it sit the whole rest of the night. And this is what the card looks like. And if you look at it, just has the Windex still inside, but it's primarily white on the inside. So the sponges look like they've completely absorbed all of the Windex, and all of the yellow ink is gone. So from this point, what I need to do is I need to flush it. So I'm going to flush it with water. Now like I said, I use these little sauce containers, and I will put 5 of these in this cartridge. So that's what works for me. You just need to completely flush out all the Windex, and you'll see, and I'm only going to do 2 here, but you'll see that all this blue will be gone, and it'll just be a pristine white, and so you'll know that it's completely flushed. But you have to make sure you get the Windex out, because if you don't, then it's not gonna gel well with the ink. So let me just show you how to do this. It's very simple. So just grab this, and again, if you have a syringe, you can use a syringe. In this case, this is what I like to use because it just allows me to put so much more in there. So let's see. Let me tighten this up just a little bit here. Get this a little loose. All right. So let's put it in here, and then we're just going to flush it. Now this process, I generally just squeeze it as hard as I can just to get it through. So a lot of the water might not go. It might be coming out the sides, but actually getting all over me. But I just want to get all that Windex out. So yeah, it's shooting out all over the place. So with the syringe, you'll have a nice seal, so you're not going to get water all over you like I'm doing right now. But in this case, this will work. You can also just put it under the faucet and have the faucet just kind of drip down into it. You know, that takes a little longer, but this process doesn't take that long to do. So I'm just going to use this one. I was going to do 2, but I'll just use this one here. Now, like I said, just for the video, I'll just use 1, but I like to do at least 5, and I'll take it over to the sink and do 5. And the reason that I do that is you don't want to have any Windex in there. I can't keep repeating that enough, because that will mess up your ink. Good. Alright, so I've done one, and I just want to show you the cartridge here. So you see how white that is? I mean, it's completely white. There's no yellow at all. If you look around, look at the bottom here, there's no yellow. So I've completely taken the yellow out, and now all I need to do is do this 4 more times, and then I'll be ready to go. But first, before, you have to let it dry. And so what I'll do is, in the next video, I'll show you my drying method, and then I will show you how I refill the ink cartridge. So, and by the way, this, I get a lot of information off YouTube, like I think most all of us do, and there's a printer guru named Jose Rodriguez, and he does a really good job. He has probably, I think, like 600 videos that are focused on printing. So he's a really good site. I'll post his link in my description so you guys can check out his site. So a lot of the information I've gotten from there, and I'm still new when it comes to printing, but I just found that this works for me, so I thought I might share. And that's all I have for right now. So we'll let this sit overnight. Hopefully it will dry overnight. Sometimes it takes a couple of days, and then I'll show you. There's a correct weight that this needs to be, and if it's at the correct weight, then that's when you know that it's dry enough for you to put some ink inside. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. If you have any comments, please post them below, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.